Anon vs. RGRE Part 12. So, where the hell is Twilight anyway? It was the only question on my mind, aside from the guilt. Since yesterday morning, my life has been slingshot through multiple flaming rings of absurd events and revelations. That nightmare plagued me the worst of all. But that was something I wanted to discuss with Twilight. Her? Oh, she wanted to go see Sakura. She's a zebra who knows about potions and stuff. Rainbow Dash waved a hoof downwards as she stuffed her eggs into her mouth. Was worried about what happened with you. You know, the whole screaming and not waking up part? She tilted her head back and swallowed. Seconds later, her eyes went wide, a cough escaping her maw, and she started to furiously beat a hoof against her chest. Wrong pipe! Wrong pipe! I sighed and shook my head. Not dumb, but rather brash, were my thoughts on Rainbow Dash. I did my best to curl my hoof around a cup of water, leaning over the table to offer it to her. Her wing swiped it out of the air, and with a nod to me, she started to drink. So, Twilight left you to watch over me? I hunched over my eggs, and in between them I could see my green face reflecting in the silver plate. Black bags were under my eyes, which themselves were bright blue, while my bangs were mostly covered in their spiky, disheveled state. Can't say I'm a fan of that, considering last time. That had to do with Fluttershy, right? It was something that Fluttershy did to me. Sucked your cock? How did you know? A lucky guess. I looked up back at Rainbow. She was sitting on the opposite side of the table, leaning into her seat, the backrest taller than her small body. She was cute in a way. Her rainbow mane draped over her left eye, almost matching me in look, only her rose eyes were just so much brighter. Can I ask another favor of you? I shook my head. I wouldn't. Did I agree to the first one yet? You have. Now, listen to the second one. Rainbow crossed her hooves over her blue fluffy chest, while her gaze was sent downward. Fluttershy, she's a close friend of mine, got it? We're really tight since flight school. She cares. She cares a lot about everything. Rainbow glanced up at me. It's why the girls love and hate her so much. Really, she's too good for us all. Do you know if she also is good at blowjobs? I asked, because I didn't feel it when she gave me one. Okay, I'm not even gonna ask about that one. Rainbow shook her head. Now, look, I'm not telling you to be nice with any pony. She sighed. Do you, whatever that appears to be, but this land you're a part of now, these mares, they're my friends. I held back on wisecracks. Give me another mare, and I assure you it would have been a verbal battle to the death. But there was something drawing about Rainbow Dash. She seemed cool and chill, and although you could fuck around with her, she wasn't someone you fucked with. And if that became a mutual exchange, then maybe I would be game for it. And I'm loyal to my friends. Rainbow Dash tilted her head slightly, smirked wildly, then struck her hoof towards me as well. And that includes you. Her lips parted slightly, and her teeth glinted in the light. So, while I won't force you to make friends with them, it would be nice to see all my friends become alright with each other. I was blown away from the scene, and not for a second did I fall for it. You and I friends. Bullshit. Hey, now you're tacking on words I don't know. Rainbow let her hoof fall onto the table, and her other hoof leaning on them both to stand up on her chair. Don't do that. You play fair with me, alright? Use normal words. Use pony words. I suppressed rolling my eyes. Look, friendship doesn't work that way. Maybe where you're from, Rainbow replied as she narrowed her eyes. But here, making friends is easy. Ponies can become friends in under a minute if they really wanted to. Those are ponies who want to become friends. But let me tell you, wanting and becoming are two different things. I looked away from her gaze, feeling my head throb as I remembered the past. You've got a lot of ponies who want to be friends, but many of them become so. They'll say you're their friend, or they want to hang out with you. They'll keep saying things, but never, ever, ever do. Something pricked in my heart, something that just made my blood boil. But friendship is a rare thing, I said quietly. It exists, I don't doubt it, but friendship only works when the right ponies are around at the right times. when they truly, for whatever reason, want to be your friend. I exhaled a long breath, letting my eyes slip shut. They've got to have a reason for it, and the proper mindset to make it work. Where the hell were these thoughts coming from? A mare tried to defend her friend, and now I'm arguing about the nature of a friend itself? There was something wrong with me. There was something wrong with my head. These sudden memories and feelings of the past just struck so suddenly, and usually out of context. It's just like love here. I opened my eyes to the sight of the ground below. Rainbow had been silent, unmoving, allowing me to speak my piece for whatever reason. Why would anyone listen to a lunatic? Were my thoughts and words interesting? Or was this what others called sympathy? What about love? It's not genuine here. I worked the courage to look back over at Rainbow. She was still leaning back in her seat, only her forelegs were no longer crossed, and her expression was impassive. Mares are just willing to suck and kiss and fuck any stallion who asks politely. Or fuck it. Someone could be a dick and still have their cock sucked. Rainbow blinked. Wait, you're complaining about getting to feel good all the time? She shifted in her seat. And to get it for free? Like, free pussy whenever you want it? And that's my issue with it, I said with force in my voice. These mares hop on a stallion for the sake that he's a stallion. No characteristics to fall in love with, no great event or act to happen between them, eyes meet, and fucking begins. I shook my head at the poor excuse of an explanation. Where I'm from, a girl has to have a decent reason to love you. It's how you know it's for real. Is that really how it is? For the most part, yeah. I watched as Rainbow kept staring at me, saying nothing. She didn't seem mad or sad or anything like that. More than anything, she was just confused. It felt like she was on the edge of crossing some line with me, but fought to keep herself in check. The way how mares treat stallions here, it's more like mothers and sons. Rainbow's snout scrunched up. Mothers and sons? Mothers don't have a choice but to love their sons. At least where I'm from. My logic was loose, but hopefully Rainbow would get the general point. There's something mothers made, and mothers just can't give away their kids because of stress and boredom. I shook my head, feeling my mane sway in the air. They may find reasons to love their kids as they grow up, but when those sons were just babies? Rainbow kept staring at me. It's horrible at the start. I was reaching with all of this, but I kept going all the same. Dirty diapers and sleepless nights, the bad outweighs the good at the beginning. Our babies are cute. That's the only reason why we love them, then. I lowered my head. Plus, they become our responsibility. You can't pin that on someone else. You saying mares are like whatever all that was here? They love like mothers, if all mothers were perverted. I scratched the side of my head, looking down at my now cold eggs. Treating stallions like they were kids, or something slightly worse than kids. This world really is just run by a bunch of perverted mothers. Dude? Yeah? How hard did you whack your head anyway? I glanced up at her, seeing confusion on her muzzle. Again, it was a typical sight to see on others when, well, you know, when I've been gone talking about stuff more important to me. Of course, whenever I went on talking, what was the expression I got the most? Confusion. Not a care or concern, understanding or comfort. Confusion. Every single time. Was it any other wonder why I swore or acted like a dick? That got me attention from others. That made everyone have something to say to me. And while being a dick didn't make me, well, you know, normal, it did make me more interesting. We're all self-interested at the end of the day. And I'll take a look of disgust than a look of confusion any day. Pretty hard, I guess. I rubbed the back of my mane for emphasis. Look, I'm gonna go take a shower or something. Turning from my seat, I came down onto the ground, hearing the clop of my hooves against the floor. Leave the eggs on the table. I don't mind them cold, and I'll eat them when I'm done. Fair enough. When I walked past the sitting Rainbow Dash, I did my best not to make eye contact with her, and she kept her eyes on her plate. She continued to eat, not troubled by my leaving. Bathroom is straight down the hall, second last door to the left. She started swallowing something. Although, knock first. Spike likes to lock himself in there from time to time. Right. Oh, and Anon? Yeah? What's the plan after the shower? I shrugged. Find Twilight. You don't want to catch some more shut-eye? I left the room. I'll rest once this crazy world is behind me.